Hey everyone, Andy, Russie. Okay, that's two of you. Good start. Alright, I'm just jumping in a little bit earlier here and wait for everybody else to show up. If they do, let's see, I need paper towel. Actually use an old paper towel. Got to adjust the numbers on this little box. It should now read 950 because I made adjustments to the current limit, but I don't have any 950s at the moment, so I'm manufacturing them, or I'm substituting them by using a 1K and a 20K in parallel, and that gets you about 952, 953. Let's see, we'll probably get 2 or 3 done today, just in the short little gap. I've got to go outside, do some mowing later, while there is actually an opportunity with the absence of rain. Miles, Alcove, 8-bit, Greg. Okay. Let's get things somewhat prepped. Need to get our strips of 28 LEDs. Now I've got a bunch more feedstock showing up over the next few weeks, but for now we're still running with just the original set of boards that I ordered for test. Okay, make sure that's... So make sure that is 28. It should be. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is. Okay. I'm almost certain that was, yep, the second one. We're going to try for 3. I had to go and order another 2,000 LEDs. Hey Yindi, Yamara. Yeah, it's, you guys are a bit more soaked, I think. Where are you? Oh no, wait, no. Getting my locations mixed up. Hey, claw slug. Okay. Stencil. Okay, we'll stencil them up first. We'll get the paste on them, put them aside. Like I said, we'll do 3 at a time. That allows me to sort of put them safely around the place. Where did that other... I don't know what I'm doing, so it's perfectly normal. This top section, it is a pain. Fortunately, it's not super critical. Oh, too dry to mow, yeah, hit and foot, yeah. Okay, I was going to say, it's like I don't think you're in the north. Yeah, up in the north, we're all soaking wet. Do the trick. I have a feeling this paste is going to be a little bit too old. It's not the worst. We'll give it a shot. Probably words I'm going to regret later. So I'll put down the normal dose, and then it hopefully will blend with that dose. Close enough. Okay, it's one. What I'll do is I'll get a 3D printed jig to put this on once I am happy with everything. And then at least with the 3D printed jig I can just drop the board in. It locks it in place. Okay, there's going to be a little bit too much paste on some of that, and not enough over there, but again, it's not a problem. We can work with that. The LEDs are very tolerant of how much paste I do or do not put on them. I definitely think I need to do a 3D jig print. Just so I don't have to spend too much time sitting here trying to line this up every time. Especially if I'm going to be doing a couple of hundred of these things. Sort of stuff where you really want to have your work process optimized. Hey John, from the Netherlands. Long time no stream. Yeah, there's another Netherlands chap that drops in here. It's not you. That's okay. Yeah, because if you're going to be doing this sort of manufacturing, the last thing you want happening is you starting to begrudge doing it, because quite frankly, it's the sort of thing where you can, well, you can end up with, say, an order for 50, but you're getting all grumpy with them, and then all of a sudden you find, I don't want to go into the workshop, I don't want to do that order, I don't want to, and yeah, you see it happen often enough. People who get a popular product, but then they find that they're just simply not able to step up and get the stuff done, because it's too much of a pain in the backside, and they've kind of painted themselves into a corner. So that's why that damn thing wouldn't go there. So I'm trying my very best to not suffer that. I have in the past, and yeah, it took a lot of apologizing and paying off people and things like that to fix up that situation. I don't really care to go there again. Hey Ronnie, how's things over there in the beloved rainbow country today? Hey Depom. So yeah, I think 3D printed jig for holding the board while I stencil it is very much on the cards. I have more 3D printing stuff turning up tomorrow. Filament dryer and more filament, so hopefully that'll do the trick. I may find I have to do that in PLA rather than PET. Normally I use PET for everything, but I might have to do that one in PLA just to give the print quality is slightly more predictable in PLA. Alright, let's go. Let's do a bit of zoom in. Hot, humid. Why do I forget where you are in South Africa again? Weren't you in some obscure place east of Cape Town? Ah, man, stabbed myself. Oh well, show must go on. Defcom, can you even buy PLA, plain PLA? Because when I was looking at buying PLA, everything that was available for purchase was always PLA plus. So does plain PLA even exist anymore? Just going to grab another 2 of these little containers. At least I think I'm going to. Where are you guys? Come on. Okay, not there. Try the other box. Found yours. This is a bit silly, really. I could have just waited till my stock arrived, which would be in a... Oh, and it's upside down. Idiot. Yeah, could have waited for DigiKey to send through the 950 ohms. But no, I'm going to get this stuff done now. So these ring lights will actually be identifiable as the first batch unique by the fact that they're going to have this 1K, 20K parallel combo. Hey Ronnie. Yeah, I find PETG just overall, mainly for robustness, particularly if you're going to be using something for more than 6 months. I used to use PLA, and I certainly prefer the quality that you get out of PLA compared to PET. At least with my printer, you know, I've got a, what have I got? What is it? End of V3 or something, yeah. But for all the ring light assemblies and whatever, it's all PET. I just realised now that is not going to fit in back into the box. Okay, so we've got a 1K that we're putting down there. That will actually work still, as in I can power that up and that will still produce pretty good range of light, but it just slightly lacks on the top end. It sort of cuts your maximum current down to about 120 milliamps, whereas I'm aiming for 130, 135 as my max, and you can see the difference in the intensity. Now the LEDs are rated for 150 milliamp, but we don't want to run them at 150 milliamp because that's sort of theoretical ideal type scenario running. So if we come down to about 130, 135, it should lead to a very long life of the LEDs. Now, if people want to do an upgrade and they want to get the absolute max out of these LEDs, then if you change that resistor that I'm putting down, if you change it to about a 900, you will get the maximum 150 milliamps. Let's see. Right, that's ready to cook. But by default, I am intentionally limiting them for the longevity. Because you do see a slight color shift once you start cooking them for too long. I mean, you see it with your household LEDs too, the lamps you put in your ceilings and stuff. They're always massively overdriven. Yep, Miles, that's right. Buy one and overclock it. You have 4 printers? Wow. I was looking at getting another one, a more, one that can do a multicolored, like, I know they're not popular, but the bamboo one that is out there. I don't know, I'm still deciding. It's not really probably worth it for me. I think I'm better off investing the money in a new microscope camera, to be honest. So, in the process of repairing a CCTV camera infrared LED array. Oh, you're right, the actual emission array. 80% of the LEDs are burnt. Yeah, but useless. Yeah, you see them fade out and everything. I know with the security lights that we have around here, the same thing. We've had them for a couple of years, and I noticed that they're already dimming down. And it's like I can't control them I can't adjust that current limit on them, which is a frustration that, I suppose if I start making my own arrays, maybe. They would have to be DC powered arrays, because obviously mind you, there's maybe I could, no. I was going to say I could make a mains powered array, but no. Oh, you have the bamboo A1 4 roll. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Okay, we're at 150. We should start seeing some smoke up. Now, hopefully none of our parts decide to tombstone or go for a swivel. Yeah, the smoke up's happening. And we've got the reflow happening. Might as well turn off at this point, I think. Really got to wait for that one to... There we go. Yep. Okay, that's ready to come off. I'm not a fan of moving them off like this. I really should be using the oven, but while I live stream, I don't really do the oven much. Okay, so that's one off. Put that down to cool. Put this away. Now I'm kind of hoping that by the time the next one is finished, that hot plate should have cooled down enough so that we don't get too severe a sort of shock when we put the new plate on. What model hot plate is that? That's a 946-1010. It's pretty generic. I do have the big one as well. I've got the 20 centimeter square one, but I don't really like to use that too much. Yeah, 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter. It should do well for RAM reflow stuff. Ah, that's terrible placement, Paul. Theoretically, I should be able to get 4 of these done an hour if I don't chit-chat. Like if I just knuckle down and focus, then 4 an hour should be easy enough to do. Particularly if I do the 3D print for the stenciling. I think what I'll do is I'll actually put it upside down so that the top surface of the stencil is sits on the actual 3D print plate, and so you know it's going to be flat, or at least in theory. Okay, not sure we've got quite enough paste on those, so we'll just... It's very rare that there's not enough paste on the LED pads, but this time it happened. So we'll just do a transfer. Okay, Ronnie, enjoy the poiky. You having a Sunday braai? I miss those. You got puff and sauce? Oh right, yeah, the in terms of millimeters for the smaller heat plates, yeah, I've seen that. My biggest problem with a lot of them is that their profile, yeah, they're too high. I'd much prefer them if they're lower. Okay, we did not get enough paste on there either. Wow. That was a really bad stencil transfer, that one. Yeah, that's all fixed. And in about 7 hours, that poiky will be ready. I suppose it depends what poiky you're making. A bunch of people here will be going, what the hell's a poiky? I will say I'm genuinely hoping that this variant of the ring light does take off quite a bit. I would love it if something like one of the larger commercial operators decide to get on board with it. But we'll see. It may be just a dream that doesn't happen. But of course then I'm faced with the problem of, okay, if they get on board, they're going to make an order for, so like, look, we'll take 500-600, or maybe they'll only take 50 or 60, in which case, yeah, I can do that. 50 or 60, up to 100. Cut a hole in the desk. That's not a very efficient way of doing things, Defcom. Yeah, here we go. What are we starting at? Look at that, it's already smoking off. That's ridiculous. We're at 150 already. Ah, that's a joke. Yeah, exactly, Defcom, yeah. And I want to try and avoid that, but it's a tough situation because, like I said, I don't want to end up... I swear, if I hand it off to, like, JLC or PC, one of those people, I'm almost 100% certain that they're not going to use the right LED elements. It's just... Probably it's paranoia, but it's one of the key features of this ring light is that specific LED element. I can guarantee, even if I send it to them and say, here you go, here they are, something will happen and they go, oh yeah, we had to substitute, and I'll be like, you're dead to me. And the thing is, that's easily $5,000-$6,000 that would just be like, gone. So I think at least for the first couple of hundred, I'm going to have to make them myself. Do not use the plastic spudger on a boiling hot plate. My God. I mean, that's correct Mycosis in theory, but I don't know. I guess I've been burned so many times in the industry that there's what they say will happen, and then there is what happens. And for 99% of the time, it's not a problem if that does happen. But like I said, this is just one application, one specific application where it's definitely going to be a problem. So yeah, I'll do the first couple of hundred myself. Planning on buying a fish reflow oven. Oh, okay. Evan Cross. Yeah, I've got my own reflow oven here, but like I said, for live streams I don't tend to bring it out. But the reflow oven will do 4 of these at once for me. Like Chinese mouser. I'm happy to trust them to make my boards, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. I suppose, I suppose I could try them with, say, a batch of 10. But then the next trick that often can happen is they'll do it good for the first batch, and then when you put the money down for the big order, all of a sudden something goes wrong. Oh, there wasn't any stock, and we thought we'd make sure you get your stuff done quickly, so we put these ones in. They've got the same parameters, and it's like, ah, shite. I mean, I am very much most likely being paranoid here. Disproportionately paranoid. But it doesn't mean I'm not right. Yeah, maybe if I had more, maybe if I had more capital to burn, I would take. Which is why I'm thinking after I've done a couple of hundred myself, then I've probably got the capital to burn, in theory, and then I can take that risk. But at this point, I would be having to go all in without seeing their hand, and I just can't do that. I have had other boards done by them, and it's been perfectly fine, but the parts that were on those boards were generic. You know, it wasn't like it was something that was critical. Yeah, whatever's on the pick and place machine, it's like, oh yeah, that's an LED, it's the right size. We'll use that. Thanks. We'll keep the expensive ones that you ordered for ourselves. JLC PCB are too lazy to fix anything in your order, they just bounce it back. I've actually had, on the circuit board, like on this one actually, they've sent me queries about some of the differences between the solder mask versus the stencil mask, so they have actually asked me a couple of times for things, which has been resolved without any problems. I think it's the luck of the draw, really. Interesting, that's... the silk screen there is kind of faded. Maybe they dropped some acetone on there or something. How are we going for time here? We are at 37 minutes. This is still very hot. Some like it hot. Rain is horizontal. Oh, good luck to you for surviving that. We got some rain coming out here right now. Nothing like that R grade. That means my damn mowing's off. If I'm lucky, it's just a shower. Hey Barney, you have a Yamaha iPulse S20 in Canberra. I don't know that model. For quite a few years I was looking for a desktop pick and place machine, like a proper one, not a you do half the work, so to speak, one. And I was looking at all the second-hand markets, but nothing ever came up that was workable and desktop. At least this sort of thing, most of the parts shouldn't be a problem. So you got LED, yeah, you could, I think 5 or 6 reel, and it should be good. Okay, why they're not reflowing up there? Something's underneath there. Okay. How's the story with Chipmunk going with you? Yeah, John, I actually haven't heard anything from Harold recently. I'm sure he's got his design ready to go any day, but I haven't actually heard anything from him recently. He is far more of a methodical person than I am when it comes to that stuff. So it's very likely that his variation is going to be perfect on the first go. As opposed to mine, which is like, well, we're going to do another couple of revisions on those. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be the sort of person to get baked. And there was junk on the other side of that. Okay, so we have to add the 20k resistor to the top of these now. Harold emailed you a couple of days ago about a battery tool module. Oh, is that for the MacBook ones? What the heck? A lot of people asking me stuff on a Sunday. It's like, it's Sunday. I'm not actually working today in terms of public working. Okay, despite that saying, what is that? Is that 01B or is that 910? You be the judge of that. If you know the E36 code, you'll know which way it goes, because they don't have any inverted numberings. And then you go, what the hell is 30C? So I might just add a teeny tiny bit of flux. So you're fixing backlight in 165 inch. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of creative little gadgets. For goodness sake. There we go. Sorry, losing my nana there. Flux on the tips. Hold. Ah. So the problem I've got here is I was holding onto the bottom resistor, not the top. Right, that's really a disaster. It looked much better when I did it before. I think we'll just add more solder. That's truly the best way. There we go. Much better. Yeah, it's excessive, it's blobby, it's very much in violation of NASA soldering standards. Boo-hoo. So you're doing public work on... No. I'm doing personal development work here. My own stuff. I mean, obviously people can contact me on a Sunday. As long as they can understand that I'm not going to reply straight away unless it's an emergency in most cases. And there's not really too many of those. And crikey, I try to call up the vet clinic on a Sunday. Holy dooly. You better hope that I've got $300-400 in the bank ready to go. Yeah, that one came out much better. And we have had the unfortunate scenario of having to call up the vet out of hours like this many a time. I swear it's like the kids just wait. They're like, hold, hold. And then it hits, Sunday, 6 p.m. or something like that, and they're like, now! And you're like, you little bastards. I'm going to just ignore all calls. The other thing I know some people do get a bit frustrated with, and I understand, but there's nothing much I can do about it, is people just want to have a quick chat. A quick call on the phone. And yeah, I get it. It is often faster. But that's assuming you can hear properly, and I cannot hear properly, so it's actually tremendously more work for me. And I know people get frustrated with me over that, but it's the reality of it. It's like my hearing is nowhere near good enough to have a proper... You know what, I'm using the wrong flipping soldering iron for this work. Doing road trains and stuff. Oh yeah, no, stuff that. Takes a special brave soul to do that stuff. Okay. I need the bigger iron tip for that side because that is the ground side, is it? Yeah, it's the ground, yeah. Okay. Alright, hopefully I won't have to do this too many times. Should be only 10 times. And then we'll have the proper resistors on hand. Let's check everything else. Zoom out. Make sure we don't have any shorts, particularly on this controller here, of course. Shorts are very problematic there. See you, Greg. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, there we go, see? Blob there. That's the stuff you really got to look out for. That would be a slightly unpleasant one. Kind of surprised I didn't see it when I was doing the resistor, but it goes to show that when you're focused on one thing, even if there's a fault nearby, it's so easy to not see it. Hey GMC Electronics, sorry I didn't see you there for a bit. Fixed. Oh, you're saying, oh right. Sometimes I get confused as who's saying goodbye and who's saying goodbye to the person saying goodbye. It only blows smoke once, indeed. Yeah, these are the ones where I use the stencil afterwards and there's a bit of sludge left on the underside and it results in a little bit of balling out. Okay, these should be ready to program now. And no, I'm not going to create a proper programming header for these things. I mean, come on. It's like program it once, that's it. It's like purely contact header only. And this works just fine. I mean, every now and then you have to sort of clean up the tips because they get a little bit tarnished. But really, it's fine. I don't even need pogo pins. Maybe he can be trusted. Well, Harold's already licensed the design from me, so he's free to make them as he wants. And I figured him being over in Europe should be a bit quicker. Let's see. Okay, I need to change the flippin' codes on this. Okay. Yep, I'll do. Check my UPDIs. I don't know why my UPDIs have shifted, but they have. Not UPDI, my D-bus things. Okay, plug this in. Alright, so this device is 1243. UDEV, I think I met. Rules, serial ports, 1243. Yeah. Okay, that's definitely changed. PDI-01. Disconnect. Reconnect. Okay, hopefully that has now aliased. Yep, okay, that's good. And this should, there. Okay. So hopefully I should not have to worry anymore when I reconnect it, and it should just work. Famous last words, I know. Okay, I'm just gonna, it's plugged in. Yep, that's one done. Two done. Three done. Oh, thank you, GMC. Always nice to hear that. Because my absolute go-to is, of course, sales. If the sales are happening, then I know it's working out. If the sales are not happening, then I've got a problem. I'm just getting a power brick here, 24 volts. That's what we want. And a little kettle lead. Ow! Kneecap myself at the same time. Okay, this is one of the bricks that I use for the lights. I know it's inconvenient. I know a lot of people say, why don't you do it for 20 volts and all that sort of stuff. But realistically, to get the amount of light that we want with the minimum part count without having excessive EMI, RFI type noise, no switching controllers or anything like that, then 24 volts is the best option. Yeah, you buy it once. It could actually run two of these probably. Most of these are 2 amp, I think, or 1.5 amp. Oh, that one's a 1 amp. Good on you, Paul. Alright, let's see how we go. Okay, we've got full bright. Yep. It's good. Jeez, that's so bright. Oh, you got that little bit of goop on the back. I don't know where it came from, but... Well, I know it came from the hot plate, but anyway. Okay, they're all good. So that's it, we're done. And what was our time on there? 1 hour. So 1 hour for 3 with jibber jabbering on live stream. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I can do 4 in an hour without too much trouble. Have you thought of putting lighting profiles on them? Bunny, what do you mean by lighting profiles? Sorry. So at this point, because I'm still waiting for my my new filament, it'll be black filament by the way, the new filament, the dryer, I'm also waiting on more heat sinks. I can't do anything more than just build these to this point currently, and once the other stuff arrives, which I'm hoping will be tomorrow or Tuesday, then I can finish these off and then ship them out. So the first batch of buyers will have their stuff. So we'll wait to see what Barney says about regarding to lighting profiles. I even had to buy a whole bunch more of these. These navigator switches, I bought 1,000 of them and I bought the wrong type, which was hilariously unfunny. Because when you go to buy these, there's I think about 10 different variants with different number of. Anyway, and this variant and the one that I ended up getting by accident are very, very similar. 3-pad, all that sort of stuff. But the difference is this one, the bottom of the rocker assembly here is slightly above the actual PCB, whereas the other one, it protrudes below the PCB. So I don't even know where you would use that sort of thing. I guess if you had a PCB that was very narrow. Anyway, so I've got about 1,000 of those, and it's like, well, that was a big fat waste of money. Accidents happen, it was my own fault. So if you click say twice quickly, it goes, oh, well, at the moment what this does, I don't know if you know about this or not, but wherever you set it, after a second, it stores that in memory. So when you power back up, it goes back to where it was, where you had it before. Really beyond that, I think it's just realistically is just as quick to just move up and down. Like going from min to max only takes about 2 seconds or so with the rocker. And yeah, I don't think I'll be doing the light profiles. Interesting idea, but in this particular case, probably not. Hey, Q's. Q's is going, where the hell's mine? It's like, they're coming, Q's. I thought I had more heat sinks on hand. I did not. I thought I had a whole bunch of these 6mm heat sinks, but I didn't. I used them up on the last batch, and I just, in my brain, thought I still had a bag of them. Yeah. Wrong. There, I ordered a bunch domestically, which cost me a pretty penny. And then I've ordered a bunch from AliExpress, which were actually still surprisingly expensive compared to how much I paid for these originally. Could you design a route into the next board revision to accommodate those switches? That's not a stupid idea. That is not a stupid idea, Mycosis. I will give you 10 points to Gryffindor for that idea. Thank you very much. I wonder if I can do that. But that's smart. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't think of that. For some reason, I was thinking I had to go the whole way through. Gah. Let's have a look at the actual board and see what we can do. Because it'll be in beyond the next 50. Because I've got a batch of 50 boards coming immediately. Okay, so let's see, is this going to show up? Might have to back that light off a bit. There we go. Okay, so we do have a main trace coming over here. This is to supply all these LEDs up here. So I'd have to find a way of routing that through. So that's fine. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, it could be done because all the control traces are coming down through here. So yeah, it could do that. And realistically, strength-wise, it's not going to miss out much. So I'd probably route down to about there. Although it will have to be curved, won't it? I can see 2 or 3 revisions going to hell because of that. But, you know, maybe it's just better that I take the loss. Hey, 3X. Yeah, I might have to take the loss, because trying to Let's see if we can find those. Where are those? I might have... Hopefully I didn't throw them out already. Yeah, sometimes you just get disgusted with yourself. And you go, to hell with yours all, and throw them out. I have a... Where are they? Oh, no. No. Sorry. You're all having to listen to me have a conversation with myself. Oh wow, I've tossed them. I have a feeling I may have actually thrown them out. Let's go dig through my trash. Because my bin doesn't get emptied for quite a while. It's a big bin. Gotta be careful though. I don't know where they are. I guess the thing for me is that it was like $60 for the 1,000, so it wasn't a huge amount of money. I think I'm just better off living with it, living with the mistake, and sticking with what I got. But it was a good idea. I'll definitely grant you that. It was a good idea. I should have thought of that, but I didn't. So thank you. Hey, Daniel. Beck and Rob Zombie. What? Beck and Rob Zombie. Hopefully there's no blades. There'll be blades, and there is the odd insulin needle. I also have a reel of these. These will work, but they're the lighter design on the selector. And a few people, you see, they're just a little bit too thin, so I don't bother with them. I just keep them aside. But at least those ones I can put on a circuit board without having to put any routing on them. Alright then, well listen, that's it for me for today. I've got another 7 of these to do, but I'll probably do them in the personal privacy while no one's looking, and then I can get them done quicker. So another 2 hours of work and it should be good. And then definitely we need to print a 3D housing for the stenciling, but again I'll do that once I've got the dried filament dryer system, because it's flippin' humid at the moment, and if you've done 3D printing you know that in humid environment things like, well, the filament just goes all crazy. So we're not going to do that as it currently is, but I will at least get started on the design. So I guess I wonder if there's a quick way for me to take this with the routing outline of this, extrude it to the 1mm, and then invert it. I should be able to do that. Probably 10 times harder in FreeCAD than it is in proper CAD program, but FreeCAD is free and I've got time to burn there. Alright, I'm out of here. You all take care. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, whenever that may be. Until then, take care. I'll catch you later.